Hey peeps, welcome to another video. Today it is my January lookbook and sort of pattern review. So January has been a very strange month for me. If you've been following the waffles at all, you will know that I have not been very well since about the second week of December, and it's kind of kicked me in the ass. So I spent the majority of December and the beginning of this year being very poorly and tucked up in bed and not really doing very much at all, which was incredibly frustrating and not at all what I had planned, and made for a fairly interesting, not even vlogmas, it was sickmas if anything. So when I started feeling a little bit better in January, I hadn't been at my sewing machine for about 3.5 weeks, and I was itching to do some selfish sewing because I have a very large list of NCWs to get done, and I also have a very large list of sew-alongs that I want to get done. So I had these two things that I really needed to do, but I hadn't done any sewing for myself, and I caved and I made things for myself. So I spent a good week, first couple of days cutting out, second couple of days sewing all of these dresses. I had this massive collection of these Scoobers and stretch velvets in my fabric stash, and some of them had been there for a good 2 years, and they needed to be made up into dresses pretty soonish because these types of dresses are fabulous to wear when it's cold outside, but they are an absolute nightmare to wear when it's warm. It's the worst thing in the world to wear polyester tight fitting dresses when it's hot outside. So I decided, made the executive decision, oh yes, to sew these Scoobers up. And to do that quickly, I used 3 patterns only for I think 13 dresses. It was 2 of the patterns, in fact I've made all of the patterns before, 2 of them were tried and true patterns for me. And then there's this one. This fabric was a present from Small Girl Type Creature for my birthday, and I want to say last year, I think it was last year. It was just over 1.5 meters of it, I think, and it was from a fabric shop in Nuneaton, I believe. It could have been Winchester, one or the other. She was in one place or the other. But anyway, so she found this scuba and she thought, oh, I know who likes scuba, Sean does. I shall buy some for her. And I'm really pleased that she did. I initially planned to just use some of this with some black and make a big wide flared skirt with the roses as a panel down the front. But I thought I would give the bodycon trend another try and make another of the Friday Pattern Company sunny dress. I made my first one February last year. It was part of the Sew My Style challenge. I think it was the January pattern, so you know, late as always, as always. This is the sort of thing that I used to wear all the time with no qualms. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I've put some weight on, and I am very much less confident in this kind of thing. So I thought I'd give the dress another go, and I'm pleased that I did because I do like it. I think it looks really nice, and I can imagine myself wearing this with cardigans and sort of like knee-high boots or ankle boots, as Small Girl Type Creature messaged me to say repeatedly, ankle boots. But yeah, given all the other ones that I made, this is not one that I feel super confident in, so it's not one that I reach for, but I do like it. I do like it. It's a pretty dress. So my first 9199 is this icy blue velvet that I got from the textile centre, and having had this discussion with you guys quite a few times now, and I think we've all decided that as long as the nap is all going in the same direction, you make your own rules when it comes to velvet. The overwhelming majority of you agree with me that you should be able to stroke yourself downwards. The nap should go that way, not this way, because this is very weird. So this is the first one that I've got to show you, and there is going to be a twirl down here. I love this dress. It is so comfortable. It looks very fancy, but it's a stretchy dress. So, you know, it's that best of both worlds of secret pajamas that look awesome. I'm really happy with how this has come out. I now have, including the cloud scoobery one that I made last March, I think, I now have 5 of this pattern, and my somewhat hard and fast rule, because there's a pile of dresses over here that I've ignored that rule for. I've made this rule up for myself that I can only sew 5 dresses from a sewing pattern, and then I need to move on and try something different because I have a ginormous pattern stash that I need to work my way through, because there are some absolute gems in there waiting to be discovered. But does anybody else do this? You find a pattern, it becomes your TNT, and you want to make all the things. Mine is the By Hand London Anna dress, and I have nearly 30 of that bodice in different variations. So yeah, that's why I wanted to branch out and made the 5 only rule. So I've hit my quota of 5 for the 9199, but it's a good dress. it is a good dress. Okay, so next up is another 9199, funny that, and this time it is in this icy grey scuba, which has, I think they're leaves. They remind me more of leaves than they do of flowers. I'm going to include 12 down there for you. Yeah, this is a velvet that's been mounted onto a scuba, so it's a much more sucky-y dress, and I just, you know, that's a technical term which I'm going to continue to use. I really like it. I think it's lovely. It's super comfortable, so secret pajamas. It feels really soft. The pile is going downward. I'm just really happy with it. One of the things that I did want to get done with all of these dresses was learn to use my cover stitch machine, because I've had it for over a year now. No, in fact, I've had it for a year now, because we got it when I just got back from Lanzarote, which was in February last year. And I tried it once. It didn't do as what it said it should do on the video, so I kind of got scared of it, and then it sat there. But this was the perfect excuse to make use of it and learn how to use it. And whilst I'm definitely not perfect, it is an amazing machine, and I really like the finish it gives. I've done a narrow cover stitch on all of the hems and around the neckline of all of my dresses, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So yes, dress number three, I really like it. So this is dress number 4, is that right? Yeah. Dress number 4 is another 9199. It is in fabric from Fabric Styles, and once you've seen all of these dresses, you're going to say, Sian, you never need another scuba dress again in your life. And that was until Fabric Styles released their 2019 fabric collection, and I caved. I've only bought one though. I have been good. Mum, it was Mum's fault. Mum, I put it up on the Peeps. I said, should I get this fabric? And Mum was like, I need it. And I said, well, if you need it, I need it, because if you have it and I don't, I'm going to be jealous. Yes, anyway, tangent. It's another 9199. I decided to use this print with this pattern because it's quite a large floral, and I didn't want to cut into it at the midriff for the midriff panel that the other dress that I've made has. So I thought this would be a really good way to use the print, and the print placement, I specifically went for this big red flower right front and center, and I really like it. And again, this is from Fabric Styles. It's one of the prints that they put up on their Instagram, and I immediately go, I need that. And I buy it and I love it. So yes, I'm really pleased with this one. And I have one more 9199 to show you. I think quite a few of you will recognise this print. It is the Marble Scuba, and again from Fabric Styles. I did have some a couple of years ago that I made a dress from, which Small Girl Type Creature now owns, because the skirt on that one is just a little bit too short for me, and this longer skirt length looks a lot better on me. And I'm so pleased that I managed to get hold of some more of this fabric, because for a while they were out of stock, and I was just like, oh no. Mum has some of this fabric too, and she has actually made the 8972 with it, which is why I chose to make the 9199 with my cut, because I didn't want to have the exact same dress as Mum in my wardrobe. Although if we both wear these out at the same time, it's going to look interesting. The only thing to say about this pattern is that I altered the hemline. As you can see on the envelope, it's a high-low hem for the longer length, and I just evened that out, because as much as I like high-low hems, I decided that an even hem would be much more practical for me, and I feel like high-low hems can be a bit dressy. Not that stretchy velvet dresses aren't exactly dressy, but you know what I mean. I decided that this was a good hem length for me, so that's my final 9199. Now, I'm not going to say I'm never going to make this pattern again, because we all know, and this is me, but I am going to try out some different stretch dresses from my massive pattern stash, and I may well come back to this one in the future, but for now I have my 5. Okay, we're moving on to the Vogue 8972, and there is a sew along for this pattern if you would like to have a look here. And it's technically it's a woven pattern, so this is a sew along to turn it into one that's suitable for a stretch dress and stretch scuba like this one. So this is the Foliage Canopy Stretch from Lady McElroy, and I got this fabric from Sherwood Fabrics, who I will link down below. They are absolutely amazing. They have the most amazing sales pretty much every week. They do something on a Monday, so keep your eyes peeled on their Instagram feed, because they have discount codes coming up all the time. They were having a 30% off everything sale, and They also happen to have the Lady McElroy Scuba at £14.90 per metre, which is the best price that I've found for it. So with 30% off, I had to treat myself to some of this. So anyone who's watched my fabric stash organisation videos will know that I have this particular fabric on the viscose jersey crepe, on crepe and on cotton lawn. So when I saw that they had got this one on Scuba, I was hesitant. And I had bought some Lady McElroy Cobra Corsage Scuba a couple of years ago, and I found that that bobbled the minute that I looked at it, so I was a bit hesitant. But when it was £14.90 a metre plus 30% off, I decided to give it a go, and I'm really pleased that I did, because I absolutely love this print. It's the first time I've used this print. As I say, the other ones are still in fabric form in my stash, so it's nice to actually be wearing something with this print that I absolutely love. If any of you know anything about me, again, I have an obsession with leaves, so you can see why this is my favourite. And I think this possibly might be my favourite out of all of the ones that I've made, although I might say about everyone as I put them on, because then I put them on and I see them on and I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. There's not much to say about this dress other than I made it 8 or 9 times in different prints, and it's awesome and I love it, and it's so twirly and it's got good effect here. I really like this mid panel here that goes up higher at the side seams, and you could have some real fun with this as well. Say for example you really wanted like a sucky-iny effect. If you did this in black, the colour blocking on that would be really good at creating a hourglass illusion. So yeah, this is a lovely pattern. I need to make it in a woven as well, because I think I'd really like it. It's definitely my go-to scuba dress pattern, and you can get this out of 3 meters of fabric as long as the fabric is not a directional print, because you do need to turn one of the skirt panels upside down. So I have about 8 more to show you. Better get on with it. This is the scuba that I've had in my stash for the longest. I think it's called Shadow Roses, and I got it from the textile centre back when I discovered the textile centre and still hadn't really worked with knits. So I was buying 3 meter cuts of fabric because that was my go-to amount then, and thank goodness that I did, because that meant that I could get the 8972 out of this 3 meter cut of scuba that I have. It's a bit different for me, isn't it? Because it's dark and it's floral, so you know, not too out of my comfort zone, but it is a bit of a departure from the bright prints that I usually go for. But I really like it. I think it's a really pretty dress, and it's nice to change things up every now and again. This would be a great base for some of the bright cardigans that I've got as well, which is generally how I wear this dress, with boots and a cropped cardigan at the waist, or one of the shrugs that I've made. Not much more to say about this dress. I'll show you the next one. So this one is another Fabric Styles scuba. This one is actually quite a thick scuba. It's not all scubas are created equal. Some are thinner than others. This has a very good effect on it, which I like very much. I like that it was a dark background with bright florals, because to me this feels like a very winter appropriate dress, and I have actually worn this one a couple of times, and I've just put it on and it smells of the fabric softener that I use, so it was a big like, oh, that's nice. Not that the other ones don't smell nice, but yeah, it was just it recently has been washed. This is another of those fabulous prints from Fabric Styles, which I'm very pleased with, and I need to stop looking at their website because otherwise I want all of them. I am super pleased that these dresses finally have been made up. As I say, this is the time of year that I need to be wearing them. So this is a very different print for me again. This is from Minerva Crafts, and when I went onto their website, it was looking for a red roses on a white background print, but when I saw this one, it was just so pretty and so different to everything else that I had, that I had to get it for myself, and I'm really pleased that I did. It is a very pretty print, and I can imagine myself wearing this with either a green cardigan or a hot pink cardigan. I did actually say black with black tights and black boots, and I still kind of think that could work. If any of you guys watch the waffles, you will have seen all of these dresses in the quick twirl, not even twirl, but the quick mirror selfie kind of video I did of all of them, and some people were for the black tights and white dress, and some people were like definitely not. So I think this one is going to be an interesting one for me to style up, but it is so pretty. Mum and Dad both said it was quite chintzy, and I can see that, I can, but I just love it. I think it's just so feminine and so pretty, and I love this silhouette with this print combo. I think it's worked really well. So this print's going to come as a surprise to absolutely none of you. When I was going onto the Minerva Crafts site to look for the Red Roses scuba, I came across this scuba as well, and it had to be done, didn't it? I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. My obsession with leaves has been satisfied with this and the foliage canopy dress from earlier. It's so lovely. It's so lovely. So other than turquoise, I'd have to say that green is definitely my favourite colour. Could be because it's the colour of my eyes, but yeah, like when I saw this, it was just so, ooh, I need that. I mean, obviously I didn't need it, but oh, I want that. There you go, that's more accurate. Very pleased with this. And I have to say, by this time I'm getting a bit better with the cover stitching, which I'm really pleased with. I have nothing against the zigzag stitching, which is what I had been using up until now to finish off my scuba makes. I think it's quite a pretty finish, but I have to say it does look super professional having this double line of stitching. I'm really excited to learn what else my cover stitch can do, because I know that this is just the starting point of all the different feet and attachments and things that that machine can do. So yeah, exciting. When I decided to donate all of my previous scuba dresses to Small Girl Type Creature and remake some of them in, or some of the prints up into new dresses, this was one of those prints that was absolutely going to have to make it back into my wardrobe, because I think this was one of the prints that I first discovered Fabric Styles through. I can't remember who had some of this. They'd linked back to Fabric Styles, and you know, my bank balance immediately just groaned. This particular dress actually turned out quite interestingly. So like I say, I had 3 meters of these fabrics, and I wanted to be strategic about where or what part of the pattern I cut out on this front bodice piece. And ideally I was after one of these big pink floral motifs here, but I didn't, once I'd cut everything else out, I didn't have enough left to place it, because this pattern piece goes all the way up to the shoulders, so I didn't have quite enough to strategically place the big pink flowers right dead center. And I think it's actually worked out really well, because if you look at this dress, it looks like it's densely flowery around the bottom, and then it gets less flowery as you go up, and even on the sleeves I kind of seem to have managed to do that to a certain degree, so it's more flowery down at the bottom and less flowery at the top. And I think it's worked out really well. I love this, again, this dark navy background, or maybe even, yeah, navy I would say. It's like a bright navy though, French navy maybe, possibly. Blue, dark blue. I like this dark background with the bright pink florals all over it. And again, Mum has knit me the most beautiful bright pink cardigan, which would look great over this. Black boots. I don't have any navy boots. Maybe I need navy. Do I need navy boots? I'm not sure that I need navy boots. Maybe I just want navy boots, but that would look cool, wouldn't it? So yeah, I really like this dress. I'm very pleased with this one, and I'm very glad to have this print back in my wardrobe. We're nearly done. So the penultimate dress is this blue with kind of peachy pinky flowers on it, and I actually bought this one because the final dress that I have is in a different colorway of this exact print, and I saw this blue version and I was just like, oh, that's pretty, I like that, I would wear that a lot, so I got myself some. And as I mentioned earlier, not all scubas are created equal, and this one is really thin, and it doesn't have the effect that the other scuba dresses that I've shown you today have. It's not a bad thing at all, definitely not something that makes it warm weather appropriate. It's still a polyester fabric, but it is a very thin one. One of the things I like about wearing scuba fabric, and I appreciate that scuba is not for everybody and not everybody enjoys it, but for me, I like the effect that the fabric has, and this has none of that at all whatsoever. It's still a very pretty dress though. I'm still glad I made it. I mean, I bought this fabric so that it had to be something, and I'm really pleased with the finished article. It's just not what I think of in my head when I think of a scuba dress. It's still nice though. And the final dress that I have to show you, again the 8972, the bright colourway of that previous print that I just had on. Small Girl Type Creature actually bought 2 meters of this fabric for me for my birthday, I think last year now, possibly the year before, not sure. I made a dress up in it which she now has, and I was very jealous of that. So when I decided to redo all of my scuba dresses, again, this was one of the prints that I knew that I had to have in my collection, and I'm really pleased that I did manage to get hold of some more, because it's just a bright, colourful, cheerful dress, which is, if you know anything about me, right up my alley. This is the last dress that I made in January. January did not go according to plan, as I've said. I think you can hear it in my voice. I'm still a bit croaky. I have a hospital appointment tomorrow. I'm going for some x-rays and for some blood works to try and work out what is wrong with me, because at this point nobody really knows, which is very frustrating. So fingers crossed they can give me a definitive answer and we can work out how to make me better, which would be great. But as I say, this is not what I had planned for January. I was planning on showing you the finished NCWs to be sent out to the lovely Patreons who are being incredibly patient with me. So thank you to every single one of you who is patiently waiting for your NCW. They are coming. And the other thing that I was planning on doing this month was the sew-alongs, because some of them are super easy, and I thought, you know what, I can get those done in a couple of days, and then I'll be up to date and caught up. In February we can start fresh. And no, that has not happened. This, whatever this is, has kicked my ass, basically. I think I said that at the beginning of this video, but it's true. February, I am going to be doing a February fabric haul and sewing plans video, but it's going to be a much less ambitious one than my usual I'm going to show you 70 million fabrics and I'm going to make all the things, because yeah, it's not going to happen. It's just not with me being like this at the moment, which sucks ass. But you know, it's one of those things. Life happens. It will be fine. It'll be fine. I am honestly incredibly glad that I have anything to be showing you in January. I mean, these dresses, whilst I've made a lot of them, they are super simple. This one takes about 1 hour and 20 minutes to sew up on the overlocker, and then the finishing is probably another ½ hour on the cover stitch. So whilst it looks like I've made loads and loads of things, and I have, none of them are time consuming. They were all very simple dresses that I already knew fitted me and that I already had the patterns ready and waiting to go. So I have made a lot of things, but they were very easy things, which is also something that I needed when going back to my sewing machine after 3.5 weeks of not touching it. Fingers crossed February will be better. We shall see. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!